Hello and welcome to today's historic deck tech and gameplay video on Esper Control. Esper Control is, of course, a control deck, as the name would imply, although its build is a little more of some real bastard energy, being kind of mean. I hope this will become, or that will become more clear as we go through the deck construction. On the top end, we have the card that made me actually want to sort of play Esper Control. It's Chromium the Mutable. Many moons ago, this was actually a relatively played card in standards of yore. It's just a good, uncounterable flying creature that can also sort of slip removal spells. If you activate its discard, become a human thing, which is nice. We're running 2 copies of Shark Typhoon, a nice way to either early on generate a variable sized single shark, or if you can manage to resolve the actual Shark Typhoon proper, it turns all of your control spells and discardy hand, all your like annoying stuff, into sharks, which will hopefully help you close out the game a little bit quicker. Vraska's Contempt and Baleful Mastery as just some nice forms of exile removal for creatures or walkers. If you, if you don't happen to have, say, certain numbers of either or, like, don't be afraid to fiddle with these numbers. This is just what my collection allowed. 3 Skyclave Apparition, nice early sort of removal spell on legs, so it can help to pressure your opponent's life total, as well as just remove a particularly annoying thing from your opponent. 3 absorbs, good counter spell, and it gains some life, which is actually more relevant in a deck that runs all of the shock lands that we do run, and things like Thoughtseizes. Life gain is important. Speaking of Thoughtseize, we'll go over that little package. We have 4 Thought Erasures, 4 Thoughtseizes, and 3 Inquisitions as a way to attack our opponent's hand, get, lots and lots of information for the other cards in the deck, running 4 Silverquill Silencers and 4 Meddling Mages. The Meddling Mages, of course, this works with the Silencers as well, but the Meddling Mages are good for cards you don't want to resolve. The Silencer is a little better for things that you don't mind them casting, like your eliminates or your garden variety removal of the world. Ones that you don't mind them casting, but if they do cast, you want to get something out of it. That's what a Silverquill Silencer does. Meddling Mage is for the card you just don't want to deal with altogether. Also have a single copy of Search for Azcanta as a way to sort of dig deeper and look through your deck a little bit quicker if you really need to find something. But we only run 1 copy since it can oftentimes help actually burn you through your deck a little bit too fast. Lands, pretty simple. Or for the lands, it's pretty simple. Running some shocks, some basics, a passive for some fixing, all of the relevant temples. Since we're a control deck, we don't mind going slower with tap lands, and the scry is good for card selection. Same thing goes for the castles, running all 3 castles of the appropriate colors as a way to either get card selection or card draw outright, as well as a castle just as a way to, if a game goes long enough, give you another source of just generating dudes, which will hopefully let you close out the game. Sideboard, pretty simple. Rest in peace for your really annoying graveyard stuff. A couple Thalias against the opposing control matchups or other non-creature shenanigans. A couple Kaya's Wrath, again, just kind of a good sweeper, and since we run more creatures in our deck than you would imagine, sometimes the life gain can be relevant. Dovin's Veto, also against your control matchups or your weird combo ones where you don't want whatever their big flashy non-creature to resolve. Running 2 Teferi's Protection as a sort of protection spell against your particularly annoying combo decks, like your Sultai, I take infinite turns kind of decks, or even the occasional really big scary aggro board. Sometimes all you need is the 1 extra like the one extra turn that Teferi's Protection will provide to turn the corner. Crippling Fear is another sort of board sweeper that's can be a little relevant. Kaya's Wrath is more for creatures that are bigger than a Crippling Fear will kill. Crippling Fear is nice since most of our creatures are humans that we do run, as well as the castle, and even the Chromium himself can become a human. So we can actually make use of the Crippling Fear's sort of selective sweeping ability. Running one Heliod's Intervention as a sort of duo artifact enchantment hate card, or if you just need life gain against like burn decks, Heliod's Intervention is good for that. Also running an additional Cleansing Nova as another form of sweeper if we need it, or another form of artifact and enchantment removal if needed. And that is the base deck. We'll go ahead and go to game number 1, but before we do, since this is a controlled deck, this might be one of those videos where we only watch like one game, since with a controlled deck like this, these can take forever to actually play out. But we'll see later. I'm not totally married. It will depend on how long the games are. Anywho, on to the game. Game number 1 with Esper Control, and we have a miserable hand. We'll go ahead and use this. We can actually make something of this. Probably gonna chuck back... that's rough. I guess we chuck a Silence. Though I'm not over the moon about that. Oh yes, our opponent has the Mobile Pet. Spoiled Barons is a card. Meddling Mage is not bad. Since now we can Thought Erasure on 2 and Meddling Mage, something really annoying on turn 3. So we'll go ahead and do the Fountain. And then we'll Thought Erasure. See what our opponent is playing. Ah, okay. That's something. Guardian, 3 mana. Lost life, but counter Gorger. I guess we'll get rid of the removal spell. That's actually not that bad. Let's see. Land followed by some shit. Just kind of annoying. Creature this time. Death. So I guess we can Meddling Mage the Leonin War Leader, since we're actually really scared of that. Now we always have access to the Apparition next turn, or we can just sit on our hands a little bit here. Okay. I think the appropriate play now is to just Apparition on the mutated creature, which should get rid of both creatures, correct? That is how that works. Good. What in the hell? Mysterious Pathlighter. 2 and a white, 2/2 flying. Each creature you control that has adventure enters the battlefield with 1 counter. It doesn't need to have gone there. That's kind of cool. Let's see. What are we going to do here? So there's a blue and a blue and a white. So we need a black and a blue. So we go Thought Erasure first. See what we can get rid of on our opponent's side. A tactical advantage. They're a few mana off from being able to play the Guardian. So we'll go ahead and get rid of the Gorger. And we'll keep the Mastery on top. Alright. Okay, we're just gonna go immediately to mute. Oh, oops. Help if you click it, Max. And now we just kind of sit on our removal spells. Our removal spell and our counter spell, and just slowly close out the game. Again, opponent does attack, which is fine. I was about to say, yeah, I'd argue it's almost better to not do that. Let's see. Silverquill Silencer. I guess. What do we name? That's an issue. I guess we can name. Yeah, I guess we can name the Tactical Advantage. Why not? Tactical Advantage. There we are. We'll go ahead and take the turn off. We don't really mind if we get into clogged board states like this, since we will probably outvalue our opponent in the end. I think we're going to go ahead and draw with the castle here. That would have sucked to draw, I suppose. Kind of like that sucks to draw. Lovely. We'll go ahead and attack with the Silencer, since we don't really mind if the trade happens. We're more looking to get rid of our opponent's board state here. Hopefully this will give us a now open board, which we can use with our little creatures to attack through. It's actually kind of important to not let that resolve, so we're going to go ahead and absorb that. Still have some removal on hand. Let's see, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Actually, I guess it's better to Shark Typhoon proper, and then we'll shock in the mana for the Baleful Mastery. That way we can, if nothing else, cast it for its cheap cost. Enchanted permanent can attack or build. Okay, that's fine. It does gain them life, so that's actually pretty good. We have a Chromium now. We'll go ahead and, like a responsible little planeswalker that we are, wait to the end of our opponent's turn. Okay, so we can go ahead and play the Chromium now. We'll now just keep the extra planes in our hand as fuel for Chromium's activated ability. Angel of Vitality. That is a flyer, but it's not good enough. I think we'll go ahead and exile the creature in question. This way we also generate a shark, as we talked about in the deck tech portion. Alright, I'll take that win. Yay! See what our opponent is. They appear to just be like a black and white sort of just good stuff deck. I don't know if there's terribly much we can like bring in here. Maybe like one Cleansing Nova as like a panic card, and we'll go ahead and get rid of the search. I feel confident enough that we can actually just run it again pretty much as is. Of course, now we're in game 2 of match 1, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, we can do something with this. What do we name? I guess we can Silverquill Silencer, naming that Angel of Vitality. He appeared to have several of those in his deck. Probably Temple on 1. See what we can find with the Scry, since we have pretty much more than enough lands to do all we want to do. Ooh, that's better. We can actually Thought Erasure and find what we want. Baleful Mastery is also a good answer. So yeah, next turn we'll Watery Grave and play our Thought Erasure. See what we can find, and then from the given information of all of our discard spells, we can actually make an informed decision of whether we want to play the Meddling Mage or the Silencer, and what do we want to name and all that. Okay, so I guess you're actually some sort of, like, Soul Sistery deck, which is fine. It's a very good deck, especially good to learn the game in. I guess we get rid of Banishing Light, right? Vraska's Contempt, also a very good card here. I guess we can play the Meddling Mage, naming the Pacifism, I guess? So we'll go ahead and we'll get the second black source for Vraska's eventually. And we can Meddling Mage, naming the Pacifism. That way it'll turn off their removal spell. I mean, if our opponent runs drawing on land, I'll take it. I'll take a win where I can get it, Jack. Oh, yeah, that's it wrong. Play the Castle Vantress because it comes into play untapped. I guess we can play the Thoughtseize here? Right, and we have a white and black. So I guess... we can play... Let's see, we get rid of the Boot Nipper. And then with our Silverquill, we can name Unexpected Fangs. Make their combat trick worse for them. Is not an awful idea as far as I can tell. Again, we'll go ahead and let it through. With our myriad of removal spells, we're pretty safe to just start applying pressure. And Daxos doesn't get stronger, he gets tougher. So we can kind of afford to let him go, since we can out-trade him now. We're hitting for 5 and he's hitting for 2, when our opponent is missing lands. This will be... I mean, I kind of hope our opponent does draw a land eventually. Okay, this is one of those, either he's gotten terribly unlucky, or he's just not putting enough land in his deck. But we won't be rude, we won't assume. I applaud our opponent, I was about to say, for playing it out to the end. That was game number 1. I think we'll try and squeeze a game number 2 in. But just in case, we'll see. Game number 2 with our Esper Control. We'll go ahead and play first. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan this. Okay, we can do something with that. We'll go ahead and toss the Chromium back. I think we might actually go search up a black source turn 1. Again, I'm just gonna crack the... or, for reference, I'm just gonna crack the passage now. I don't care that much. I'm trying to make a video, and that's... shorter videos are largely considered better. We'll go ahead and... Hallowed Fountain tapped. Get some information with our Thoughtseize. Ooh, very nice. I guess we get rid of the thing they can ramp into? Does this work how I think it does? Cast a spell with the chosen name. I guess we'll Meddling Mage, naming the Turn Timber, right? Turn Timber... Turn Timber Symbiosis. There we go. Hopefully that will put a real big monkey wrench in their plans. Although it's mono green, so I'm interested in seeing what your deck is trying to do. Oh my god. Questing Beast can go. I can do something against the Vorinclex. So maybe it was... well, it's fine. Either way, I think we're okay. Oh, this has got to be some Some mono green shenanigans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 goes to 6 next turn, just in case. So we'll gonna go ahead and not attack. See if they play the Vorinclex, at which point we just give them the card draw. We don't give a shit about that. It's better to give them a card than we die. I think we'll go ahead and Skyclave Apparition, their mana dork here. Since we have Meddling Mage named their Symbiosis. I'm not certain if they can play the land or not. I'm not certain of that interaction. You can play the land. Okay. I'm not even mad. I genuinely did not know. Although you do have to reveal it. You may reveal a creature or land card. Alright, he can just play it. There goes that plan. Well, shit. What do we name here? I guess we can name another Vorinclex, for lack of a better idea. Gonna go ahead and start chucking away at the, or chipping away at the...
So it's going to be like that, huh?
Vivian. Are we more scared of a questing beast or Vorinclex? Well, next turn he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mana, can do whatever he wants. Can't play the Symbiosis. So, yeah, I guess we'll name Vorinclex with one of the Silencers. And we might name a questing beast with the other Silencer? Maybe? I'm interested, though. A mono-green deck. I haven't seen one of those that isn't elves in a long time. Okay, you're in Fabled Passage. So you're probably not mono-green. Now, do you care about the what's it called? You care about the landfall trigger. Loaming Shaman putting all of his cards back in his yard. Of course, we can always name whatever our opponents find if you can't actually play it, which is a genuinely nice thing. So what, were you elves this whole time? Okay, we can do something with that. We'll go ahead and name the Elvish Archdruid. Just looking to interfere with our opponent's curve. Let's see if I block the 3 and a 4. That's kind of bad. Okay, if we attack, he can get rid of the meddling. You know what? We'll go ahead and attack all. That's fine. He can make a trade, but the Vivian dies, which I believe is more important here. And fair enough, that's a good one to get rid of. Does he just immediately cast the Symbiosis? He does. Of course, he can brick with it, which is kind of our hope here. Okay, that's like... That like sucks, but we're alive. Because I can just Skyclave down the questing beast, so we didn't mind actually taking the hit. We'll go ahead and attack out, because a lone Llanowar Elves is not enough. Does he play the Archdruid and bolt himself? Yeah. Strength of the Silencer. Sometimes you don't mind if your opponent gets something, as long as you get something in return. Or is he going out like a champ? Is there any attack he makes? No, I was about to say, there's no attack he makes where he lives. Although, I'm assuming Brother Loki, because you don't see many chicks referring to themselves as Loki. I do like what you're doing. I think we'll bring in some Kaya's Wrath, because I'm a little concerned about this getting sideways. Probably get rid of a Azcanta for like a Cleansing Nova, since they have enough ways to grow their creatures outside of Crippling Fear range. So we'll go ahead and avoid that card. Let's see. I'm not in love with this hand, to be entirely frank. I'm not in love with it, but we can do something with it, so we'll keep it. Black Castle on one. We'll actually got the shrine. Probably go ahead and get rid of the Inquisition first. So we can hopefully... Okay, that's good. Since they have to draw into something now, which is somewhat of a deterrent, at least. Probably play the Temple here. Yeah, I guess it's still the Temple. You just kind of sit on it for a turn. We can go ahead and get rid of the passage, since we have enough lands to get us to Akaya's Wrath. They're pretty much going to play every card they get, right? That they can cast anyway. Yeah, then War Elves is the thing. I guess we'll just play a Temple then, right? The Fountain is not really necessary. What are we looking to name here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess a Vorinclex would be the most scary thing off the top. Oh, I have to type it in because I haven't seen it yet. Vorinclex Monstrous Raider. We can also block down opposing Land of War Elves if we're particularly scared. Again, a passage, but just to get another forest, means there are some landfall shenanigans in there somewhere. Guess we just do a shrine tapped Thoughtseize to see if they got anything, or if it was just another land. Oh, that's a good one to get. Again, we'll just kind of sit and wait. Kind of sitting on our butts here. Do you attack or do you not? I guess. I mean, honestly, we've named the Vorinclex, which you can't play with because of our Meddling Mage. So I think we just sit on a Castle Ardenvale activation and slowly build up an opposing army. Okay, that sucks. Not gonna lie. Okay, that's not that bad though. It's not that bad. I guess we can... I guess we can go ahead and get rid of the Florahedron. I guess that's it. Okay, Vivian Reed. Depending on what you get, if you can't cast it, I can just Thoughtseize it away. Which is honestly more relevant than people give it credit for. We gotta find a way to kill that Vivian, though, or we're gonna be in trouble. I think they bricked it, which is good. That's not good. I guess we do you. And I'm just gonna castle immediately to look desperately to find something to kill that thing. Oh goodness, who shakes the goddamn world. Do we just cycle the Shark Typhoon and look for something? Okay, an Elvish Archdruid. Yeah, we're just gonna cycle for 0. Silverquill Silencer is not enough. Do they attack? Hooray, they attacked, which was the wrong play. Please attack. Please attack. This way I can Kaya's Wrath and gain some life and sweep your board. It's awfully nice. Ba-ba! What do they name this particularly? I guess a questing beast would suck. I think I've seen one, right? So I don't have to type it in. Nope, I guess not. Questing a beast. Now, granted, we're still in some real fucking trouble here.
The wilds are my shield.
We might actually lose to a Vivian ult, which is weird because we haven't found a fucking removal spell. Okay, just finds a land, which is in fact not enough. Of course, you can't always just animate a land here. He can always animate. I was about to say. Oh, that's not good. That is very bad. He is able to make that shit happen. We are in some real trouble. Oh, that's not what we need, game. We'll go ahead. We have to find something to get rid of the Vivian this turn. Yeah. It's one of those, we can't come back from that. Was correct, though, in getting rid of, or in bringing in more sweepers and stuff. That was the correct play, so I feel better about that. I think we just gotta, like, hopefully get notably more lucky than we did. I haven't seen that Vivian, again, much like Chromium, used to be so popular back in the standard of yore. That's a bad hand. That's a better hand. So we get rid of a plains here. Since I have like removal and some card advantage in the form of a temple, so yeah, plains, you're gone. I think we temple on one just to look for some more, you know, reactive cards. Like that. Like another Vraska. That will do it, honestly. We'll go ahead and fountain next turn. Untap, since there's nothing to play. This way we can castle on turn 3 if we need to remove a particular problem permanent from our opponent. I guess we can Watery Grave untap then. Silverquill Silencer, probably naming a questing beast, I imagine. That's like the biggest 4-drop I'm scared of. Might not have it, and it might be a dead call, but we know they run it in their deck, so it's not like the worst. I guess we actually do get rid of the Skyclave, weirdly. I think we'll attack, actually. I'm happy if their mana brook dies. Next turn, depending on what they play, we might actually name Nissa Who Shakes the World with our Meddling Mage, since that Nissa can really take over games very, very quickly. Go ahead and play the Temple, see what we have coming up next. Honestly, not the worst. So yeah, we'll Meddling Mage naming Nissa Who Shakes the World. That card is fucking stupidly powerful. See what our opponent does with his mana on hand. Okay, you can tap 2. Let's see, I guess we name... what is her name? Not Nissa. Oh, the other green planeswalker. Vivian. Viv. Oh, it's Ian. Oh, what fucking Vivian is it? Oh, no, what Vivian is it? Vivian. Wow, Arcbow. What the fuck is that card's name? 1 second. What is that fucking card's name? I have to look this up. Yeah, I know, game. Vivian. Oh, fucking. That's right. MTG. Viv. Champion of the Wilds? That's the Ikoria one, right? Vivian Reed. What is that fucking card? Oh, it's literally just OG Vivian Reed. Okay. Okay, much better. Did that mess up? I hope that didn't mess up the recording, because I had to Google that very fast. Okay, that, like, sucks, but it's, like, not the worst. Because I can just Vraska's that thing down. I guess we can go ahead and attack with the Silencer. Again, if they take the trade, we're like happy to do that all day long. Since again, with the other Vraska's Contempt in hand, if he plays the big scary Vivian, we can just unalive it very fast. Fights up to one creature you don't control. Attacks, destroy, artifact or enchantment. Return human you control to its hand. Gain indestructible. That is a fucking weird card. Okay. I applaud our opponent, though. You could argue they're just playing a weird collection of cards, but I'm into it because it's different. Yeah, I'll do it. I think we kind of have to let this thing through, right? I guess we can. I guess we can start chumping out, or bringing out chump blockers. Okay, you have lands, which is a thing. It is a thing that can matter. To your credit. Karn's Bastion for flavor. We'll go ahead and just make the blocker now. I'm actually okay with giving away the Meddling Mage now with the Absorb in hand. Hand hate cards aren't doing a whole lot. Hopefully this turn, if he attacks with the Shaman, I can just attack it down. If he attacks with just it, there we go. Mission accomplished. Take a turn off to generate enough blockers to kill it. You're killing me, game. All of these removal spells and nothing to... or hand hate cards with nothing to hate on. Though that's really more of my own fault than anybody else's. Might as well make a token now. Maybe we should, if nothing else, Thought Erasure next turn to try and look for something. Really need something like a sweeper. I'd love you if you gave me a sweeper, game. That's not very good, is it? Guess we're still on the same plan of, like, chump block until we don't die. Hopefully our opponent plays something that we can absorb. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, the correct play is to do what they're doing and wait until second main to cast the thing. We have it in here, we just gotta draw it. Yeah, that kinda seals the deal if we don't draw a fucking land, or like removal spell. Oh god. Okay, so we actually need to just draw a removal spell or die, right? Okay. Good game. On to game number 3. It's unfortunate, but we do enjoy a good game. And our opponent's deck was very fun and something I haven't seen in as long as I can remember. Anywho, on to our little wrap-up segment. Alright, here we are in our little wrap-up segment. Overall, I genuinely very much enjoy the deck. and it's one of these decks that will stay in my little collection to be played in the future. It's probably up there with my more favorite control decks, along with that fun Jeskai Control Giants thing of times long past. I think in the construction of it, if I had to change anything, we probably are going to take out maybe the Search and the Shark Typhoons and put in more card draw. What the card draw is can be determined at a later date, but I think that's probably the biggest concern here, is that I rely a little bit too much probably on the temples and the castles for card draw, which, I mean, technically is card draw, but I don't think it's enough, really. And there are moments like in that last game where all I needed to do was like maybe have like one more burst of card draw, and I feel like I could have done significantly more and probably won that game. Overall, though, very fun deck. It's going to stay in the rotation, and it'll be something I play and update, maybe make future update videos on. But if you're running this at home, like, I would recommend, again, probably cutting the Typhoons and the searches for, like, traditional card draw spells that come from blue. Again, whatever the card draw spell may be is totally up to you. It can be your Chemistry Insights, your Peer into the Multiverse, whatever that card is. Whatever blue card draw spell you like and you have available, go ahead and put that in. Other than that, I'm actually very happy with the list. I think it's also post, you know, adding a card draw, this sort of hand hate and like particular like sort of pitting needle style, like target cards, you know, become bad cards style effect, I think will only get better as the format, at least to higher levels anyway, will become a little more settled, so you will have a better ability to like name cards blindly, and you won't need to rely as much on the information. Of course, you still enjoy the information and use it when you can, but I think this deck has a lot of potential to only get better, and that's additionally saying I still think the deck is good now. But anywho, thank you all for watching. Again, remember to like and sub and all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!